Donald Trump short-circuited on live TV moments ago. It was shocking. He said something that we all knew he said, but he did not remember. He also does not know the name for the Australia-US Defense Alliance.
We've been discussing AUKUS with the Australians and the Brits. Were you discussing AUKUS with the Prime Minister, sir?
What does that mean?
AUKUS, the Australia-US Defense Alliance.
Yeah, well, we'll be discussing that.
What does that mean? You're the president. You're supposed to know these basic things. How do you not know that? He also was, the Prime Minister also said that I believe that the two-state solution is ultimately the only way for lasting peace in the region, which is a clear rebuke to Donald Trump and his insane idea of taking over Gaza. And Donald Trump was back on his BS saying that tariffs are going to impact other countries, not Americans who buy from the countries that import here.
Mr. President, the Europeans...
Yeah, please. On tariffs, you just said with China...
Who are you with?
I'm with The Independent.
Oh, that's good.
It's on tariffs. You just said with China... Thank you. We charge them. We charge them as in we charge China, but the tariffs are paid eventually by American importers and consumers.
No, they're not. No, I think they're paid for by the country. But, you know, look, we can get into that. I put a lot of tariffs on in my first term, and we made tremendous amounts of progress because of those tariffs.
Also, he's just coming across so old. Just so old and clearly senile.
You just said with China. Thank you. We charge them. We charge them as in we charge China, but the tariff...
Vance said, what the British do in their own country is up to them, but also affect American technology companies and by extension, American citizens. And the Prime Minister, just listen to what he said to this, because...
JD, we're putting you on stage.
Great. Yeah, look, I said what I said, which is that we do have, of course, a special relationship with our friends in the UK and also with some of our European allies. But we also know that there have been infringements on free speech that actually affect not just the British, of course, what the British do in their own country is up to them, but also affect American technology companies and by extension, American citizens. So that is something that we'll talk about today at lunch.
We've had free speech for a very, very long time in the United Kingdom, and it will last for a very, very long time. Well, no, I mean, certainly we wouldn't want to reach across US citizens, and we don't, and that's absolutely right. But in relation to free speech in the UK, I'm very proud of our history there.
I mean, this is such a combative meeting. It's insane. A reporter asked, saying the Europeans wanted Ukraine to be part of NATO as a part of the deal, and Trump, of course, parrots Russia talking points.
Mr. President, the Europeans want Ukraine to be part of NATO as part of this deal. Are you willing to budge on that at all, or is it a firm...
Well, I could be very nice and say, oh, well, we'll work to it. Look, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. That's what started this whole thing. Biden said that, and all of a sudden the guns started. That was one of the primary reasons this started. And this was long before President Putin. They never said it was an impossibility. So we can say, oh, gee, well, we'll try. But that's something that's just not going to happen. And then the other question you ask is about the land. Will you get your land back? Well, they've fought long and hard on the land, and you and I will be discussing that. And we're going to certainly try and get as much as we can back. But on the NATO, it's just not, that's not going to happen. Yeah, please.
He said this is how it all started. No, how this all started is because Russia invaded a sovereign nation. That is the only reason why this started. No other reason. And here is the moment where Donald Trump clearly shows that there's something going on with him mentally. We should not let up on this. It's just shocking to see.
President, do you still think that Mr. Zelenskyy is a dictator?
Did I say that? I can't believe I said that. Next question.
President, do you still think that Mr. Zelenskyy is a dictator?
Did I say that? I can't believe I said that. Next.
Well, yeah, you did say it, you senile old man. You said this in a post on Truth Social. Think of it modestly. A modestly successful comedian, Zelenskyy, talked to the United States of America and spending $350 billion to go into war that couldn't be won. All lies. All of these Russian talking points. The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe, and Europe's money is guaranteed, while the United States will get nothing back. Not true. Europe's money is not guaranteed. By the way, we should be sending them as much money as possible because freedom is priceless. Why didn't Sleepy Joe Biden demand equalization in that war is far more important to Europe than it is to us. We have a big, beautiful ocean as separation. On top of this, Zelenskyy admits that half of the money we sent him is missing. Not true. And then he said down here, a dictator without elections, Zelenskyy better move fast or he is not going to have a country left. And the reason why they haven't had elections is because they are in a state of war. And the people who would want to vote in an election cannot because they are on the battlefields fighting. It is the reason why Zelenskyy is still president during this time, because they cannot have elections. And it was different during World War II because we did not have we did not have war on our own battle, like on our own country, on our own soil. We were fighting someone else's war. Because I've seen other people say that as well, that, well, we had war too and we still had voted. Well, it was totally different. It was totally different. All right, veterans make up 30% of the workforce, and they are, the federal government is one of the biggest employers of veterans. And here is Donald Trump saying that he's taking care of veterans.
I didn't know anything about it. Yeah.
Mr. President, veterans make up 30% of the federal workforce. Are you tracking how many veterans have been fired so far?
Yes, we are. We are,
and
and we take good care of our veterans, so we're watching that very carefully, and we hope it's going to be as small a number as possible. But we are having great success in slimming down our government.
They're not having great success. In fact, everything they've done is superficial in the fact that we have a $6 trillion budget, and they have shaved off a percentage of our budget. And this just all goes to show, to me, him not knowing the name of the Australian Defense Army, him not knowing anymore, him not recalling that Zelenskyy, calling Zelenskyy a dictator, him not knowing anything about the cuts happening in the federal budget. It just shows me this is a person, a president, who is not there, just checked out. And when he is there, he's not really there. It's scary. Who's running the country right now? Elon Musk, I guess.